I asked people to recommend me books they didn't like, and now I'm reading them. Book 26 of the Another Man's Trash Reading Challenge is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This is a YA fantasy romance that follows Evangeline Fox. And she grew up on her mother's stories. Stories of magic, of the immortal fates, of true love. And she grew up believing in all of those ideas. So when she falls in love, it feels like it's her turn to live out that fairy tale happily ever after. And then she finds out the love of her life is going to marry somebody else. And she is desperate to stop this wedding. And so she makes a deal with one of those immortal fates of legend, the Prince of Hearts. And while his price is only 3 kisses, it may turn out that the Prince of Hearts is not who does the saving. He may be the one people need saving from. I'm 128 pages in, which is roughly 30% of the book, and I am liking this a lot more than I liked Caraval. That being said, that bar is really low because I did give Caraval 2.75 stars. So, like, relative to books in general, bar is high. Relative to Caraval, I think we can do that. I did not read the rest of that series, so I know I'm missing some of the impact of this book because I don't know the histories of some of the characters. But I will say that even in the beginning here, a couple have been name dropped, and I was like, hold on, did they just name who I think they just named? So there's still a little bit of that in there for me, which is fun. The writing in this is much more tolerable so far. It's not a masterpiece, but it's not distracting either. Like, I rolled my eyes a few times, but it's not pulling me out of the story. I can just roll my eyes and move right along. I've just kind of accepted it as part of it, because it kind of feels on brand for the character. Evangeline herself is a pretty decent character so far, I think. Her narration is kind of repetitive. She really harps on, like, oh, I only know this because of my mother's stories. If it weren't for my mother's stories, I would never have known this. Oh, it's just like in my mother's stories. You know, there's a lot of that, but I fear that is on brand for her. And she's already been on quite the journey. She was, by her own admission, heartbroken and desperate. And she, on an impulse, made a deal that she regretted, and she's trying to fix it, and she fucked a bunch of shit up. And now, in the aftermath of that, she's trying to minimize the consequences for everybody, but she's also trying to minimize them for herself. Like, she has some shit that she's got to work out when it comes to reckoning with her own guilt and actually owning up to what she did to the people that were affected by it. We'll see. The Prince of Hearts is a fun character, too. So the Prince of Hearts, he's an immortal fate, and the immortal fates are kind of like the gods of the world, and if there is one thing about me, I do love me a good meddlesome god. So I'm excited to see how his role in the story kind of continues to evolve. He is, at present, he is puppet mastering, for sure, and I'm curious about his endgame. So, I mean, clearly, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. I don't think it's going to be a rave, but it's still early, and I say that because it could go either direction, but it is off to a strong start, relatively.